this is great. Connor telepathically says to Alexander, "I hear movement," and takes out his bow.
So what's your light source at the moment?
He's cast Dark Vision on himself.
Okay, gotcha.
Alex sort of blinks, looks at Connor taking out his bow, tries to motion to Lucius to get his attention, and holds his finger up to his mouth to indicate he should be quiet.
So you guys turn around. You see a small figure has entered into the room, and has its back to you. So you just see the back of the heavy cloak that it's wearing. But it's small. It's maybe 3 feet tall, if that. Examining the dead and broken and acid-eaten and necrotized bodies of the scorpions you just slaughtered.
Gus is going to cover the coin. Just kind of put it in his pocket where it's not to douse the light.
Okay.
Because it's continual flame, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Florian will creep a little closer towards this figure.
Florian's dead. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I went for it.
That was cold. I gotta hold on.
That was like a reflex. Like, didn't even miss a beat. The creature seems oblivious to your presence as you creep up behind it with your bow drawn.
Anything else from him?
He's got its back to you. It's just some kind of small humanoid wearing a heavy cloak. All of which you just see the cloak from behind.
All right. Connor notches arrow, pulls back his bow, and says, "Don't."
Ah! Who was that? And the creature spins and whirls around in all directions, and you can tell it's a gnome whose eyes are stitched shut. And it's waving this gnarled wand in the direction where it heard you say something.
Oh, okay.
Identify yourself or be disintegrated. 3,
No.
2,
Down.
1.
Hold it.
Alexander of Flumph Inc. Drop the wand.
I don't think I will if it's all the same. And he spins around, and Connor, you notice that the gnome probably thinks it's pointing its wand in the direction it heard Alexander speak. He's actually aiming up here somewhere.
Connor lowers his bow.
We're not here to hurt you.
Did you make the loud booming sound? I heard several.
Yes, that was us.
Who are you? Who sent you? What do you want? What will you do to me?
We are not going to hurt you. I'm going to move a bit closer, just so you're not alarmed and don't try and disintegrate me.
And he's...
Now let's walk to about here.
Okay. So standing next to
We're
the great sword.
investigators. We're in this tomb investigating, and we were attacked by a bunch of scorpions and some sort of hideous undead.
A likely story. I'll be the judge of that.
Okay. What do you think they were?
You, the other one. And he's pointing his wand vaguely in the direction that Connor may or may not still be.
Do you live down here?
I'm asking the questions here, mister. As he's trying to find Connor again. Where's your friend? Where did he go?
He's right here. You're not... Okay, I guess that was a question, so... Sure.
Gus is going to motion at Lucius and like make a kind of like a behind and like grab motion and point at the thing without saying anything.
To Lucius?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like.
Don't. Lucius doesn't understand what you're doing. He just kind of leans back against the wall.
Gus is like
So
underneath his breath. He whispers.
You're asking.
What did Alex say?
What are the rest of these questions you're asking then?
Tell your friend to tell me his name. I'm going to count to 5. 1, 2,
It's
3.
oh,
Connor? The hell kind of name is that? Where are you hail from? Who is your father? Who is his father?
I live here in Dunfoss. What happened to your eyes?
Why should I tell you? Why should I tell you anything? What have you done to my guard dogs?
The scorpions? They tried to attack us? We defended ourselves?
No, not the scorpions. The scorpions are natural fauna of the catacombs. They're of no use to me. Except as the occasional meal. And sometimes ingredients.
Do you need meals or ingredients right
There's
now?
nothing on them you can smoke. Not anything that gives you any pleasure, leastwise.
Do you want a cigarette?
No! I want answers! Who are you? Who is your father? Who is his father?
My father is Ambassador Edward. His father was High Ambassador. I don't know my character's name.
Atticus. I don't know.
I think you should relax.
You tell him to relax?
Yes.
So I'll relax when I'm dead. And I'll die if I relax.
Well, that's hope.
Does not sound healthy.
Health is an illusion. You must fight for every second of your life.
So do you live down here?
So I'm asking the questions here. What are Gus and Lucius doing back there?
Lucius is just kind of leaning against the wall, watching this guy. He's kind of amused by this whole nonsense, but he's not really sure what to make of it.
Amused.
Gus fixated on the words guard dogs, and he's going to Misty Step behind him,
Okay.
and I'm going to grapple him.
Okay, make that roll. At advantage because he's blind.
Just point out that Gus's Misty Stop is nowhere near as sparkly.
Okay, that's just athletics, right?
It's a hit roll.
Oh, it's a hit roll?
Yep.
Oh, okay. That's still a 20.
Okay. And this little man is so shocked and startled as you bear hug him from behind. The wand clatters to the ground, and you pin his arms to his side, and he screams out again. Ah! You've bested me, you knaves!
What kind of guard dogs are you talking about? Those, like, horrible undead things at the front of the cave?
The servants from the palace were using the catacombs to come and go in secret. I sought to put a stop to it by placing guard dogs.
Like actual dogs? And I'm gonna shake him like a dog.
Don't hurt him, Gus.
And I'm gonna point. He could be the reason Florian's dead.
Who is Florian? Who is his father? Who is his father?
I'm gonna shake him again.
Ah!
Look, I'm upset too, but you don't have to just shake some poor little gnome just because he... I don't think anyone's particularly at fault for that. Is there anything back here, like, outside of the fog of war? Like, is there a...
That's
I'm
just,
looking for where this guy came from.
just the corner of the room.
Okay.
Did you?
Can I start doing some investigation to see if, like, there's a passageway the size for a gnome or something back here?
Well, he had come in through
Okay.
this passage here.
What kind of guard dogs did you place?
I'm gonna slip past Connor and go check out this door to see if it's open.
So you're slipping past and coming down to the south?
Yeah, I'm just checking to see if that door is where he came in. That large one I couldn't open.
It's not open, but examining the door, you see a roughly gnomish sized and shape spot on the rolling part of the slab, on the stone slab, that's wet and slightly darkened.
I'm gonna knock it, like just...
Like the knock spell?
No, with my fist.
Yeah, it's wet somehow. Just that little part.
What
Alex.
happened to your eyes?
So I will answer your question, but if I do, you must guarantee my life and safety. Swear it.
Nope. I'm gonna
Swear it
turn
by your
upside
father.
down.
Ah! And he's upside down, and the cloak flaps downward, and hundreds of little pockets that are all over his torso and his arms and the inside of his cloak and down his legs. Just stuff starts falling out of them. Coins and bits of wire and little seeds and just hundreds of different kinds of trinkets and little things that he's carrying. Some of which look dangerous. Caltrops and needles and small knives clattering to the ground on top of the wand he's already dropped.
Gus!
Do you mean to rob me?
Bullying this.
A man has a right to defend his territory, and a man has a right to his own possessions, does he not?
It's like,
Stop bullying the man.
Unhand me, you knave.
no. You threatened to disintegrate one of my companions. One of my companions is dead.
I may yet, if we carry on like this.
I'm gonna shake him again.
Ah!
Connor gets on his haunches and tries to talk to him face to face.
Connor has haunches?
Everyone's got haunches.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
So, you're face to
Also, he's
face.
hanging upside down.
He's being held upside down.
Yeah.
Looks like he magicked his way through that door we couldn't open. Some sort of trace of water, like an outline on it.
How do you know that? Who told you that?
I've got 2 degrees in applied Arcana.
We're investigators.
Investigators, what are you here to investigate? What business do investigators have to murder innocent guard dogs?
What business do guard dogs have to murder an innocent investigator?
I will admit the tone of this encounter is slightly different, considering that these creatures managed to kill one of you.
Oh, okay. So he did. Okay, yeah. No, I'm going to.
No, by guard dogs, it's very clear what he means. He means the
So-
creatures that killed Florian.
Your guard dogs have already slain one investigator, and to be honest, I'm really surprised that you're getting this treatment instead of something more severe from our friend who wears his emotions on his sleeve. So he doesn't listen to us most of the time. So Gustavus, please put the man down, and we can have a conversation like civilized people.
If you kill me, I will haunt you. I will haunt your father. I will haunt his father.
I
See,
I actually believe that one with the little undead things he made.
You say that, and I'm starting to think you may be a monster. In which case,
Just slay it.
Gustavus fellow, I will leave your fate unless you calm down and start cooperating.
What do you mean in which case? Who keeps their witches in a case? That's preposterous.
I'm gonna shake him again.
Ah!
I am done with this, gentleman.
Connor walks away.
Yeah, he gets up and just walks away.
Gustavus, put him down.
No, I refuse. We can have the conversation with him hanging just like this. This is the only concession you're gonna get from me.
What's next?
Well, you heard him. You heard him, little man. You got a name so we can start conversing?
I will tell you my name, but you must promise to never speak it. If you say it aloud, you will be cursed. I designed this NPC with Florian in mind. I'm gonna be honest.
Well, our late friend did know something of names, so you have my word.
He tells you that his name is Mudgolid Lucidifost.
No, and I shake him again.
Ah!
That's a traditional dwarven gnomish name. Come on, Gus.
Your name is Alexander.
Yeah, my dad is not very traditional among deep gnomes.
Sorry, I shouldn't have shaken you that last time. I apologize.
Yeah, that's very rude to shake someone because of their name.
He tells you that he has the pleasure of serving as court magician to His Royal Majesty, Iriadul I. And now that you know who I am, and you know my name, which you must never speak, you are bound by honor, sir, to place me upon my feet.
Can I history check Iriadul the First?
You were alive when Iriadul the First served.
Okay.
So Maximilian's been on the throne for 12 years. Before him was Catspin, who was... He got coronated, he sailed out to sea and was never seen again. Immediately before him was Iriadul the First. He ruled for 6 years. He was chosen by the Court of Arts, which are the magic colleges, selected him. And he's heavily associated with the Apple of Time, which is a school of magic in Dunfoss devoted to psionics.
With all due respect, Iriadul has been dead for, or at least off the throne for 20 years now, I think.
12.
12?
Maybe 13. And it's thought, it's rumored, especially amongst a lot of the magical colleges, and especially Tylesnus Apps, that Iriadul used magical manipulation during the selection and died under suspicious circumstances.
We don't know exactly what happened, but people have suspected foul play for the last 12 years.
And he insists that His Royal Majesty is not dead. He has fooled you are, witless knaves that you are.
Then where is this king, pray tell?
Oh, he's been dead 13 years.
Wait.
I'm gonna look Lucius square in the eye. I'm gonna make sure like we see eye to eye. All right?
Okay.
All right? And then I'm gonna shake the gnome.
Nah.
I mean, okay, that's fair.
Just for God's sake, put him down. You're not going to get any more sense out of him if you shake him.
Can make me feel better.
How much?
Well, we don't care about your feelings right now, Gustavus. We care about finding out why exactly this man is in here having pets that are killing our friend.
I told you I was placed here by His Royal Highness King Iriadul.
And Alex walks over to Gus, and he puts his hand on his shoulder, kind of reaches up, has his hand on his tiptoes, like, Gus, I care. Believe me. We have important stuff to do right now. As soon as this shit gets settled, we're going to help deal with Florian. Can you please put him down so we can get on with this?
I'm going to grab him and turn him the correct way up,
Okay.
give him a little shake,
Ah.
and then put him down.
You set him down on his pile of stuff, and as soon as his feet hit the floor, he immediately starts grasping up all the trinkets and doodads and baubles and little bits, and starts putting them back into the pockets. And this process is going to take several minutes.
Let him do that. Fine.
And now that he's standing on his feet, and Alex, you're standing next to him, he's small and scrawny even for a gnome.
So he's like Alex's height?
He would be smaller than Alex.
Alex is the minimum acceptable gnome height, but okay.
But he's even smaller than that. He is, like...
But,
I mean, all gnomes are freakishly small, but gnomes would think that he is freakishly small.
so basically, he's a nasty little gremlin. Gotcha.
Gus and Alex, you're standing within 5 feet of him. You guys have good passive perception, yes?
12.
13.
13? Okay. And Lucius, you were about to say?
My name is Lucius. I am affiliated with Tylesnus Apps, and I have sworn the oaths, which would mean that I am bound to serve the crown in some capacity. So you can trust me when I say that.
I've never known a man from Tylesnus App that could be trusted. You're speaking nonsense, sir. Who is your father? Who is his father?
Lucius gives his father's name. And his father.
We'll see about that. See, it's going to take him a few moments to gather up all his things.
I'll let him do that since he seems so distraught by them.
All right, so tell us about the servants using this passageway from the palace. What were they using it for?
They are servants from the usurper king. They came and went as they pleased. My understanding is that the usurper king has placed restrictions on where his servants may go and when. And this lines up with which of you was talking about the hearing about the servants coming and going.
Mm-hmm. So this is like 2 kings later, right?
Yeah, but one of those kings didn't rule for any appreciable amount of time.
Catsbin was selected by the... Catsbin was selected by the Court of the Arts. Eriadul was selected by the Court of Gods. Catsbin, yeah, he had this grand coronation, sailed away, and nobody ever saw him again.
So what makes you think that the current king is a usurper?
Because the previous king is not dead.
You said he was dead.
He is dead.
You're not making sense.
You simpletons! A man can be dead and not dead at the same time! Must I explain everything?
I'm pretty
Yes.
sure in that case you give up your position as king, though, right?
Yeah,
You don't have a vampire king.
We'll see about that.
I hope we won't.
Oh
Yes.
my god. That's terrifying.
What are the chances? Oh no.
Could.
Yeah. I think I came to the same conclusion that you did.
Oh no. Do we. We have a vampire king. We ever seen him come into a house uninvited?
What nonsense are you speaking of now? I am not a vampire.
No, the conclusion that I came to was that the undead army to the north is being headed by the former king of Dunfoss. And yeah.
You think?
A vampire is undead, you noodle-brained so-and-so. I didn't say undead, I said a man can be dead and not dead. Not dead is not undead. Don't you know anything?
I'm going to...
I must confess that necromancy is not my field of expertise.
What is your field of expertise?
How can a man be dead and not dead, but not be undead?
This is the first among you who has asked a sensible question since I've had the displeasure of meeting you. Congratulations!
Please answer it.
It would take years to answer the question. Years of intense study and lecturing. Are you up to it?
Gus is going to squat down on his haunches because, as we previously established, everybody has haunches.
I've tried
And
to
I'm going to
roll my chair away from the microphone so I don't blow people's
Oh,
I-
your
earbuds
level
out.
speaking?
I appreciate the gusto at which you're playing this NPC. And I'm going to, in a very calm and very quiet voice, tell him I'm going to pick you up and shake you again if you do not succinctly and in less than 25 words pretend like you're sending a message spell. Go, and I'll count.
He explains, after you threaten to shake him again, he explains that King Eriadul gave him explicit instructions to hide away in a place underneath the palace, in the catacombs, that he had made safe, until such a time as he is able to return. He told them that there would be 3 usurper kings in the interim time. 3 kings who would sit the throne and be seen as the legal ruler of Dunfoss. But Eriadul assured him that he would not be dead, that he would return to take the throne again, having shaken off the vestiges of rumor and heresy surrounding his ascension to the throne, and lead Dunfoss into a new epoch of prosperity under the gods. And he explains all of this in exactly 25 words.
Connor crosses his arms, unsatisfied with the answer. That does not explain how an individual can be dead and not dead, but not dead.
He faked his death.
No, you moron, if you fake your death, you are still alive. You've merely lied about your death.
He traveled forward in time? Or backward in time from a point where he had already died?
He explains that upon death, the soul will travel to the realm of the gods. This is known. Every religion has some version of the same basic idea.
Sure.
But the journey between this realm and the realm of the gods is one that mortals make instinctually. The pieces of them that make this journey are not the same pieces of them that drive them to life on this world. They're compelled to make this journey, in other words. They can't turn back unless powerful magic draws them back, which has happened to Seeker 16 times. Iriadul in life prepared for this journey, knowing the circumstances under which a potential king could be assassinated, maybe by rival temples or whatnot, and has found a way to control this journey. So he's neither in this world nor in that one, but has the option of entering either at his leisure at a time which is more agreeable to him. And he explains all of this in exactly 25 words.
So, what you're saying is he's left this world and he's gonna come back? Right? Did I have that right?
The man's paying attention! I give you a round of applause, if I thought you deserved it.
Thump him.
Ah!
Gustavus, stop being rude.
You can tell he's starting to get a little addled and from all the thumping and shaking.
Yeah, I'm gonna, like, if I reach out to take this guy's hand, is he gonna, like, I'll try it. I'll try and reach out and take this guy's hand.
What do you do with it? You're reaching out, grabbing
I'm
it,
gonna
or...
walk him away from Gus and put myself between him and Gus.
Yeah, let's make a grapple check. Make it to hit roll.
I'm not gonna try and, like, if he actually tries to resist the movement, I'm kind of guiding him more than pulling him.
Oh yeah, no, he's not going to let you take his hand and pull him away.
Okay.
He's going to call you a knave and ask about your father. So what's next?
Are there any other guard dogs anywhere in this passage?
I can bring forth as many as I need.
So that's a no for right now?
I didn't say no. You put words in a man's mouth and he's like to choke on them. Do you mean to choke me, sir?
Yes.
Ah!
I don't,
I
but
understand that. You were here on the directive of previous king to guard these catacombs with guard dogs, and they wound up killing one of your friends. Have I got that right?
I should hope so. What use is a guard dog that can't kill intruders?
And these guard dogs were hideous monsters that were undead and violated his body. Do I have that right?
Yeah,
as well?
they turned his body inside out and used him like a meat puppet.
They made use of it.
Yeah, see, I'm not too keen on allowing that kind of thing to just go unanswered.
Threatened now for the second time, and he's going to do that again. So
A man has a right to defend his own territory.
Connor pulls his bow back out.
Did you consider, like, putting up a beware of dog sign after you did that?
you've literally put evil undead abominations into the basement of a tailor shop.
They were not undead.
Well, whatever they are, the fact of the matter is they tore our friend apart, turned him inside out, and turned him into a meat puppet.
I would apologize to you if you were my friends.
I'm gonna go back to shaking him out.
Ah!
No.
Alex will try and stop you. Look, we don't mean you any harm.
And at this point,
Why don't we do something to stop the servants from coming and going by making it so they no longer have to, and then you don't have to put inhumane guard dogs in your place, and we can just wait for Iriadol to show back up.
as you're speaking to him, he's on his feet, but he's having trouble keeping his feet. He's been shaken and thumped so much at this point. He's kind of wobbling back and forth in his space.
If we head up to the palace, we can do something about the servants coming and going through this chamber, which is definitely wrong. And then after that, you can just go back through your wall with liquid form or whatever, and wait for Iriadol.
I don't think we should set him free.
You mean to take me captive? To clap me in irons? Place me in one of these witch cases you talk about?
No, nothing like that. I assure
I mean,
you.
he's been down here for over a dozen years. He can't be that dangerous until now.
I'm more dangerous than you know. Is that a
think if
challenge,
he was
sir?
left alone again, he would be able to. I mean, he's lived here this long.
Alex, I'd like to point out that like there was no. We just went into like a cabinet in a dude's house to get down here. Like it's not like.
And for all we know, until recently, no one had need to go through these passages.
Like, what if those things had gotten out into the streets?
You're not wrong.
Yeah, no, you're very right.
Why would I order them into the streets?
I don't really think we need. I don't know. I feel like we could tell. All right, here's my opinion. I feel like we could just tell the shopkeeper that this has to be sealed up for people's own good because people are going to die down here if he keeps selling things. And if anyone he sold passage to has, mysteriously vanished, that I think we take him into account for because he should have brought that to the mosque caps. And we leave this gnome here after we get done. That's my opinion on what should be done. I feel like it's
I
the
agree.
shopkeeper's negligence more than this guy defending his own home. He hasn't hurt anyone else that we're aware of. Maybe the shopkeeper doesn't know and it was just a very unhappy story that happened one night. And Alex takes a very long drag off a cigarette.
It's because he's a gnome, isn't it?
No. A little. That wasn't a joke.
I get it. A little. Because gnomes are little. Yeah.
Ouch.
Sorry.
Show us the path to the castle. Now.
He tells you that would place his mission given to him by his royal majesty in great jeopardy.
Does me breaking your neck place your mission to his majesty in great jeopardy?
And he's, I'd like to see you try it. And he puts up fisticuffs, but he's facing the wrong way.
I'm going to very slowly, very gingerly, just place my hands around his neck. I'm not going to squeeze. Just kind of get like, sir.
You just reach out, you find the button, you pull the trigger, right?
Yep. And I'm going to whisper in his ear. It would be very, very easy. I'm basically trying to intimidate this man.
He tells you,
He's immune to intimidation because he's bug nuts.
he's the most sane person in Dunfoss, I'll have you know.
Yeah, now that Florian's dead.
He says that he'll take you as far as the retractable wall. Beyond there, he tells you that the Usurper King has placed guards, where typically no guards would ever be placed. Which makes sense. There's no need for the king to have guards in the catacombs. But he dares not go closer to the palace than that, because he's seen them here as of late.
Okay. Very well. I think that's agreeable.
Gus,
I'm being very quiet.
you still have
I will
your
take-
hands around his neck?
Yes.
No! Stop being such a. You're a jerk to every single person we meet.
I'm not.
How,
Florian.
how dare you be a jerk to somebody who murdered your friend and has been
Yeah.
screaming at you about being a knave for an hour?
I'm going to look at Lucius and I'm just going to take my hands off of him,
Okay.
and I'm going to.
And
a
as
step
soon as you
back.
take a step back, with a deft motion, he reaches down to the ground to attempt to snap up his wand and point it at you. But his balance is bad because he's been so badly thumped and shaken by this point that he ends up just tumbling forward onto his face into a heap underneath his cloak on the ground.
Into the pile of caltrops and daggers.
No, all that stuff he's already picked up and packed away.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna reach down and take the wand away from him.
Like he's laying on top of it. He
Oh,
fell over.
I'm gonna roll him over and take the wand away from him.
You roll him over, and the wand is on the ground next to him. And as soon as you roll him over, he puts his hand in front of him with a finger outstretched and says, "I get one do-over. That's only fair."
So, I can't help but this has just been a something that's been festering in the back of my mind, and I just can't ignore it anymore. Why are your eyes sewn shut?
Why aren't your eyes sewn shut?
That's stupid.
Because I want to be able to see things in the world? Be able to not fall over when I'm trying to pick up my wand?
More fool you. Seeing things in the world is what has blinded you to what's happening around you, says the gnome who's trying to stand to his feet, but obviously can't. He's trying to reach out and find the wall behind him, but it's way far away, but he can't see it.
Have you ever heard of the phrase "in the land of the blind, the one-eyed is king"?
I've heard many phrases. Shall we have a contest of phrases?
No.
At this point, like, I'm waiting for Connor to just shoot this gnome in the back with an arrow.
So you picked up his wand?
Yeah, I pick up the wand.
It's a gnarled length of petrified wood. And it's very smooth to the touch. It's a beautiful thing. Are you trained in Arcana?
Yes.
What's your passive Arcana?
Passive Arcana is 14.
It's definitely magical, and it's a more powerful magic that a mere spell focus would have.
Okay.
I'll return your wand to you once we are on our way.
Uh,
Is that agreeable?
the wand is now in my pants pocket. No, it's. I mean, like, whether we give it back to him or not is irrelevant. He's not having it right now. Is like, so I'm just like, it's currently in my pants pocket. My shiny new
Wand
pants.
in your pants, or are you just happy to see Connor?
Ugh.
How you doing?
What's next?
Yeah.
Connor finds this guy very monstrous.
Mm-hmm.
He will not shoot him without explicit permission of everyone else.
Is that always going to be the case? Like, they all have to use an action to give you permission to shoot?
No.
Okay.
Just this one, we still don't know each other, feeling each other out kind of phase, kind of deal.
What do we want to do about these guards? Kind of wish we had a sleep spell right now.
Be really helpful, yeah.
He tells you that he'll take you by a safe route to the room with the retractable wall. And beyond that, the guards are your problem. He says whether or not you choose to anger the usurper king does not matter to him.
Well, if the usurper king is dead, not really going to be much anger about it, eh?
What? The
So-
usurper king is dead? Who killed him? What happened?
That's what
And
happens
we're
when
trying
you
to
don't
find
have...
that out. Since we're not getting any help past the retractable wall, we're not sure we'll be able to.
Yeah.
And he starts counting out on his fingers and mumbling to himself in very, very hyper fast, under his breath, gnomish language. And like Alex, you can just barely keep, like, he's running through all kinds of equations. And at the end of it, he threads his hands together in satisfaction. That's 2. 3 usurper kings, Iriadul said. Who is to be the third? You will tell me. Who is his father? Who is his father?
That we don't know yet. It's to be selected by the House of Commons.
The House of Commons. So it's to be a witless knave. It's to be an unwashed peasant in soiled breeches will sit the throne.
Oh,
And?
just let me shoot him.
We will have to call the Fydru Shah to disinfect the throne on a daily basis. Such will be the feces of the unwashed peasant who sits upon it. Is that what you're saying to me?
I suppose I am.
Shoot him. Please let me shoot him.
But he seems delighted by this news that this second usurper king may be dead.
Anyway, lead the way.
And he cheerfully does. He begins leading you back to the door, the sealed stone slab that you saw earlier.
I do like that he went over sums to count 2 kings
Ooh.
away.
Yeah, I caught that too. This gnome's playing 4D chess in his own brain.
When he gets back to the door, he spins around. And who's in front of the party at this point?
Pretty sure, like, you guys are...
Like, I need the actual order. I need to know one after another. So Lucius and then Connor.
Yeah, I guess so.
And then-
Connor is
Then
not.
Gustavus is like just off on his own little world over there.
Connor is still ready to fire.
Connor, as we're leaving that large chamber, you and I think are the last 2 out. Just say, look, A, don't shoot the poor guy unless he actually attacks someone, and B, and I'll hand you a pair of boots. Put these on, and if you can get out of sight, these will help you stay unheard. They should fit. They were for a half elf.
He was about your size.
Had a very similar sounding voice.
Connor obliges.
The small gnome tells you that you'll have to link hands one to each other and thread your fingers together, left hand to right hand, down the line. And that if any of you are would let go or break rank as they are traveling through the infinite expanse between dimensions, you risk becoming lost for all eternity.
Okay.
And then he reaches up with his left hand and grabs Lucius's right.
Take hold of it.
He says, "Do you trust me to not let you go?
Don't have much of a choice, so yes, I do.
To not drop you into the infinite expanse between worlds?"
I mean, that'd be fascinating, but no, I'd rather not right now.
Where it is dark and expansive and moist.
I don't like that you use that word, but okay.
And he's gripping your hand very tightly in his left hand.
Oh. Reach out, take hold of Gustavus's hand.
Okay?
We're gonna intertwine our fingers. We're gonna have a bit of a moment.
No, there is no moment here. The word moist was used. I don't want to deal with that.
So it's the perfectly sane gnome, Lucius, Gustavus, Connor, then Alex in the back.
Yeah.
Okay. And he just walks directly through the stone slab, leading you forward.
Ah!
Does anybody let go at any point?
No.
And
No.
In for a penny.
it feels like you walk through this slick membrane. And you enter into what at one point was just another wing of these catacombs, but what has been fairly well furnished since then. So I'll just give you the rundown of the whole place since you guys are going to be here for a minute. So it's this long hallway, and there are 3 entrances, each of which are the same kind of stone door that in ancient times dwarves would have had to roll aside, but which your new best friend can apparently traverse through. There are still alcoves. There's these, the 5 closest ones you see are full of essentially his laboratory. He has alchemical supplies, all kinds of little mechanisms. He's got a fairly well-stocked tinker's table set up with all kinds of different tools. He has a small library, mostly of scroll cases, intricately stacked in one of the alcoves. As you go further along into the second branch here, this is where the earthen alcoves are a little smaller and don't have brick walls, but he has reinforced them. You see where planks of wood have been placed into the earth in such a way to create a kind of smooth wall and ceiling to each of these 7 alcoves here. And one of them is his sleeping quarters. You see where he has a mattress laid out, and it looks fairly snug, but fairly comfortable little bunk for a gnome. And mostly his living quarters would be in this second branch here. The third branch over here, the walls and brickworks and the floors and everything have arcane scrawlings all across them, higher up on the wall than this little gnome should be able to reach, and across the ceiling as well, and on the inside of all 3 of these doors that you've seen. Flitting about the entire space are perhaps, they look like mathematical equations just hanging in air, dimly lit by your torchlight as you come in. They have this kind of coppery sheen to them. Just numbers and figures flitting about, running calculations. They don't seem to take up any physical space, and they're kind of swishing back and forth with no rhyme or reason. And he swats them out of the way as he comes in and leads the way through. And he tells you don't touch anything as he leads you through.
Yep.
How do you get supplies down here? It's a pretty nice lab.
And he swings around and tells you, the deal was I take you to the room with the retractable wall. I am not to reveal any of my secrets. And if I do, you are never to speak them or you will be cursed.
No, certainly not.
And he walks down into here. And when he gets here, he takes his cloak off and hangs it on a little wooden hook that he's put in the wall. And he climbs up into his bunk. He says, very well. I will see you on the morrow.
We need to go now.
Oh, that's very impossible. Cannot be done.
No?
I mean, is there another one of those walls, or?
Well, there's
another...
2 more that you've seen.
No, I mean, like, I'm asking him, like, is there another one? Like, do we need him to go through the next one, or did he already take us through the retractable wall?
He tells you that the doors in and out of his quarters permit 1 round trip per day.
I see.
More than that is neither needed nor should be expected. And now that you all have entered with him, coming back in after he left once, all of you are trapped here until he's taken a long rest.
Oh, then I'm going to investigate the rest of this place.
Okay. Does anybody bother him as he climbs into his pile of cushions and blankets and dozes off?
Nah.
Okay, then he does. He falls asleep, and the snoring is amazing. You could not have imagined this horrible chainsaw noise could come out of so small a creature.
Incapacitated creatures they take critical hits, right?
Oh yeah, you could totally murder him in his sleep. You can do it right now.
Oh.
Both
we
of
would
them
be trapped in here.
Oh.
Is there anything else if I investigate these quarters while he's asleep?
You mean going through his labs?
No, I want to like. Well, maybe right now. I just want to get a feel like, is there another where these doors are, basically.
Who has the
Make
the cart.
an Arcana check.
Sure. That's a 26.
Okay. You look at some of the arcane runes inlaid on the door in front of you, and it's powerful gnomish magic. And as far as you can tell, he's speaking the truth. The doors of this place will allow 1 round trip per day, enough for him to leave and return in 1 day. The wards in place that keep this magic, that power this magic, that give it its strength, are psionic in nature. You think with some work and some more study here, you might be able to find a way to break through this ward. But you'd be afraid of what might happen, especially, coming from the Underdark.
Yeah.
What might happen psionically if you were to attempt it without knowing the exact nature of the magic.
Yeah.
Alex,
Yeah.
can I have the curtain, please?
I think Seeker carries the curtain.
Can we say that it's just in the bag of holding so I can put it up over here?
No, Seeker carries it.
Damn
didn't-
you, Seeker!
He has never allowed that in the history of this channel. Why do you think he would start now?
Because it would be funny. Anyway.
No.
I've got some light provisions in the bag, but usually I keep provisions on Scrappy, and I didn't bring any because I assumed we'd just be down here for an hour or two.
Oh, he has fairly extensive stores. I mean, these wooden alcoves here in the second hallway, he has no small amount of food. Some of it is perishable. Like, he has jars of cream and wheels of cheese, freshly baked bread.
I mean, Alex
Fresh fruit.
is his best food. He's got salted pork and hardtack in the bottom
I'm
of the
gonna
bag.
make a sandwich
Okay.
with the guy's food.
I don't have a bedroll, so this is going to be a pretty uncomfortable night. And Alex will do the best he can after eating that to prop his head up on the bag, holding like a pillow in the corner, and try and get some sleep. Are these small enough for him? These alcoves? Are they small enough for the other gnome?
The one that he's in is the only one that's like furnished for sleeping. But yeah, any of you could fit in any of these.
Yeah, I'll climb into it. Are they empty, or do they have a bunch of stuff in them?
They've all got stuff in them, but it's nothing you can't move out of the way.
Yeah, I'll just put my bag of holding in the corner, use it like a pillow.
Okay. And after looking for a few moments, you do find where he has a small stock of fresh linens stored, like well-provisioned little living space for him. And we were all going to rest here. Is that the idea?
Sleep. He's exhausted. He doesn't know about anybody else.
Okay.
It's late.
Lucius is gonna take a break.
Stung.
I think we should keep a rotating watch though, just to be on the safe side.
He was telling the truth about those doors. From what I can tell, I wouldn't be worried. At any rate, I'm sleeping tonight.
So I take
Alex.
that infusion that gives me what you call it.
Hey,
Is anybody doing anything via his property during the night? Like, are you messing around in his lab? I mean, you've already made a sandwich, but I mean, other than that.
No.
Other than just making enough space in this alcove for me to have space to lay down.
Go ahead and everybody take the benefits of the long rest. And we will take a break there. Let me go ahead and put Elizagirth on screen. Treble, I pressed a button in OBS, and I would like to report that I have no dropped frames over the past 3 hours.
Yay!
So,
nice.